Hi guys, welcome back to Movie Chat More, and if you're here for the very first time, welcome. My name is Richard, and today I want to talk about my top 10 Shawn Michaels matches. The Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels from the WWE, the WWF, whatever you want to call it. Now, this top 10 list, I haven't really thought about it a lot. I got basically a piece of paper and just thought, yep, that one, that one, that one. I thought more about it than that, I must admit. It wasn't just anything. But yeah, I've got my favorite top 10 Shawn Michaels matches and a few honorable mentions after that. So let's jump straight into it. I mean, if you're familiar with my channel, you know my upload speed, my internet speed is dreadful. So guys, let's not waste any time. Let's start at number 10. Hulk Hogan. SummerSlam 90? No. SummerSlam 2005. Hulk Hogan. I'm not going to go into massive detail about each and every match, okay? It would take way too long. What I love about this match is Shawn was the heel, Hogan was the face, and Shawn lost. But it was kind of like a moral victory for Shawn, I believe, with the oversell. And I've done previous videos where there's a poster just over there. I think you can just kind of see it. A SummerSlam 2005 poster. Yeah, the classic oversell. Now, apparently, I think it was Vince who said to Shawn, make Hogan look good. And but they also said to Shawn, from what I know, is wrestle like you did back in the late 90s. And Shawn did. He was he was all over the place in that match. Every single time Hogan laid a finger on him, Michaels went down like a ton of bricks. And the big boot near the end of the match, where Hogan delivers the big boot before the leg drop, and Michaels actually goes down, gets up, spins around, and falls back down. It's classic comedy. And I think it's only recently Shawn has said he did that for his own amusement. Of course he did. Anyway, number 9, John Cena. Now, this match was not their WrestleMania match. This was on Raw. If you're a Cena fan or a Michaels fan, hopefully you're a Michaels fan, yeah, this match went over an hour. And it was not the greatest wrestling match of all time, but it had that Iron Man feel. And they went over schedule. I'm not sure the network was too pleased with it, but yeah, Shawn Michaels versus John Cena. It was a WrestleMania rematch, and you know, Shawn was the victor in that match. Not that that matters, but it it shows even in the twilight years of Shawn's career, that could be a bit harsh for me to say. Shawn was still a main player, and he could still go. Well, the match went over an hour. It speaks for itself. Anyway, number 8. Yeah, Chris Jericho, the unsanctioned match. Okay, every match he had against Jericho was pretty good, pretty damn good, yeah? Pretty damn good. His WrestleMania comeback match against Chris Jericho was great. The reason I put this one is because it was unsanctioned, and it was just after Chris Jericho punched out Shawn's wife, Rebecca. I think Shawn was at a pay-per-view prior to this match, announcing his upcoming retirement or something like that. But something like that. And he went into this match, and it's a commentary on this match. It's Jim Ross, good old JR. Don't do something you're going to regret, Shawn. Don't do it, Shawn. Shawn, think about your future, Shawn. It's so over the top, and the match it's a street fight. It's an unsanctioned match, and it's great. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I can't remember the pay-per-view it's from. I do own it, but on DVD. But check that match out if you haven't seen it. Number 7, that way. The British Bulldog, One Night Only, 1997. This was at the beginning of the D-Generation X thing, and what I love about this match is not only, I mean, look, every time Michaels and the Bulldog got together, no matter who was the face and who was the heel, they always had fantastic matches. And One Night Only in 1997, it more so than the match, it's everything that surrounded the match. No one beats the British Bulldog in England, in the UK. You come to the UK, you wrestle the British Bulldog back in the day, and you know you're going to lose. It's just the way it was. Bret Hart, SummerSlam 1992 at Wembley Stadium. He lost the Intercontinental title to the British Bulldog. Shawn Michaels won this match, and yes, he won it with the help of Triple H and Chyna, I believe, and Rick Rude. And then after he won, and the referee stopped the match, you had bottles and crack being thrown into the ring. Nobody beat the Bulldog in the UK, but Shawn did, and he took away the European Championship at the same time. And then Shawn and DX basically destroyed, not literally. They didn't tear the European Championship to pieces or take a sledgehammer to it, but the European Championship after that match meant nothing, really. Number 6, The Undertaker. The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. Not the retirement match, not Shawn's retirement match. At WrestleMania 26, the first WrestleMania match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. That match could have my favorite moment in any match. Not just any Michaels match, but any match. There's a moment where The Undertaker, the lighting is changing. I apologize if that's affecting, seem to be okay, but yeah, there's a moment just after The Undertaker has delivered a tombstone, I believe. And he goes to pin Michaels, and Michaels kicks out on 2. And the look on the tape, my phone just went off. I'll check that once I'm done with this video. Anyway, yeah, the look on the Taker's face is a moment of WWE magic. It's, oh my God, how did Shawn get out of that? It may not have even been the first tombstone delivered in that match. Great isn't a big enough word to describe that match. It's legendary. Some people will put it number 1. This isn't in any order, apart from my number 1, which I believe is Shawn Michaels' Finest Hour. You probably know where I'm going. You probably got a couple of matches thinking, well, we'll see. Anyway, number 5, going up. Triple H SummerSlam. Triple H SummerSlam 2002. Shawn Michaels comeback match. We all remember this one. If you're a Michaels fan, if you're a Triple H fan, I mean, let's face it. If you're a Michaels fan, you could be a Triple H fan as well because of the DX and the Click and yeah, the return match. Michaels, can he still go match? And by God, he could. Number 4, Hell in a Cell against The Undertaker, 1997 at Bad Blood. The first ever Hell in a Cell match. I remember watching cage matches and people would get involved. People would climb up the cage, get into the ring. And I remember thinking to myself, because I wasn't aware of, I don't think of like War Games, WCW War Games. where there actually was a lid on the cages, but it was a whole different thing anyway. It was like 3 or 4 different rings and whatever. I always used to say, as a teenager, even as a preteen, I used to say, why don't they just put a lid on the cage, and it'll stop people from getting in. They did that, and Kane still fucked it up. But that's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane. Yeah, remember that? 1997. And let's face it, Shawn spent the majority of that match having the shit kicked out of him, but he won the match anyway. But it doesn't matter in wrestling if you win or lose. I mean, it's great if your favorite wrestler wins. I mean, I remember watching that match on Sky when it was happening. It was live on Sky, and I was rooting on the Undertaker. I wasn't a Michaels fan at that time. I was and I wasn't. I knew Shawn delivered the best matches, really. But this was the era where Shawn was cocky again, and now you look back at it, and I look back at it, and I love it. I absolutely adore Michael's attitude, even though he wasn't having a great time in his personal life back in 1997. To watch, it's awesome. And if you're going to watch one match, watch Hell in a Cell Bad Blood. It happened in 1997, October, I think, yeah. Anyway, number 4. No. I haven't skipped one. Number 3. If my numbering is wrong, then sorry. Number 3, the WrestleMania match. The WrestleMania match against Kurt Angle. Now, I know they went on to have a rematch where Shawn actually won. But I do prefer the WrestleMania match with Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. Even though Michaels didn't win, it's how you play the game. I've been wanting to say that. I had to say that. Ready to play the game? Number 2, the ladder match. The ladder match, need I say more? Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, WrestleMania 10, 1994. That match broke ground in wrestling, not just the WWF at the time. It broke ground in wrestling. Now, we had violent matches. I mean, I was talking about the Hell in a Cell match, and let's face it, in ECW, when ECW was extreme, and look at like Mick Foley. Mick Foley had probably much more violent matches than the ladder match at WrestleMania 10. But by and large, we hadn't seen it. Now, if you have, that match at WrestleMania 10 might seem kind of timid. I mean, even by today's standards, it looks a little bit timid. But if you want to put it into context, the WrestleMania 10 match, the ladder match, the legendary ladder match against Razor, now it's brutal again. Because let's face it, in the WWE, they're not allowed to do anything anymore, really. I mean, when they use a chair, they're allowed to hit the back of the legs, am I right? Total crap. I'm not into the WWE anymore, and I haven't been since 2010 when Shawn Michaels retired. It's the only reason I want to carry on watching is for HBK. But he retired in 2010 after the WrestleMania match with The Undertaker, and he should have stayed retired. He shouldn't have come back for that Saudi Arabia Kane Undertaker versus DX match. I don't think Shawn should have done that. Anyway, going off on a tangent. Number 1, you probably know what's coming. The Iron Man match. Bret Hart, WrestleMania 12, 1996. Is it my favorite Shawn Michaels match? Yes, it is. There are other matches I will watch before I put that one on. Excuse me. Because, yeah, it goes on for over an hour. So does the John Cena match. But this was Shawn and Bret. And let's face it, we all knew. If you followed the WWF at the time, you knew Shawn was going to win that match. It was his time. The boyhood dream has come true. Now for the honorable mentions. A few matches. I'm going to miss a few. I am going to miss a few. Comment down below and let me know your favorite Michaels matches. But I'm really interested in knowing, can you compile a top 10 list of your favorite Shawn Michaels matches? Hopefully you can. Comment down below and let me know. WrestleMania 26 against The Undertaker. This was Shawn's last match. It's hard to leave that one out there. It wasn't as good, in my opinion, as the WrestleMania 25 match, but it was Shawn's retirement match. So, and it was still good, but yeah. Shelton Benjamin. I can't remember what year this was. I could have a guess, but I put this match in there because of the sweet chin music. If you know the match, you know what I'm going to say. It's when Shelton Benjamin launched himself off the top rope. I don't think it wasn't off the top turnbuckle. It was off the top rope. And Michaels connected with the, with the sweet chin music from hell, you know. Survivor Series 2002, the first ever Elimination Chamber match where Shawn Michaels became the World Heavyweight Champion. I have to mention that one. Mankind at Mind Games. This was 1996, I think. And Mick Foley has gone on record as to say this was his favorite match of all time, against Shawn Michaels at Mind Games. This one's just funny. Rick the Model Martel. The Model, Rick Martel, SummerSlam 1992. They was not allowed to hit each other in the face. What a stipulation. I mean, obviously they ended up doing so, but I could go into that match, but these are honorable mentions. Okay, but that stipulation alone is just funny. Vince McMahon, WrestleMania 22, I believe, the one before John Cena. Yeah, Vince McMahon. Shawn Michaels beating the piss out of the boss. And then Ric Flair. Ric Flair's retirement match, even though Flair, I think, came back and wrestled again, maybe was it in TNA? And I do believe Ric Flair went on to have like some kind of unsanctioned match against Jericho in the WWE. But anyway, this was supposed to be Flair's last match. It's not a great match, but it deserves, in my list, it deserves an honorable mention, you know. And because when Shawn is about to deliver sweet chin music, we all know it. If you're familiar with that match, if you're a fan of Shawn or Flair, he looks at Ric Flair, who was his inspiration to be a wrestler. All through his childhood and his teenage years, Ric Flair was the guy who inspired Michaels. So when he looks at Rick and says, "I love you, I'm sorry," or it could be, "I'm sorry, I love you," and then delivers sweet chin music and pins Ric Flair, and Ric Flair has to retire. So yeah, guys, they're my top 10 Michaels matches and my honorable mentions, but there are others that I've forgotten. Please, guys, comment down below. Let me know your favorite Shawn Michaels matches. If you're a fan of HBK, then why not? If you're watching this video, if you're a subscriber, or even if you're not, well, actually, yeah, do you have to subscribe to comment? I think you do. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. Anyway, 2 videos in 2 days from Movie Chat and More. Wow, what's going on? Thanks very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you all again soon, hopefully. It's been great. I enjoy talking to you guys, and and hopefully I'll talk to you all again very soon. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.